Hello and happy Black Friday. This is Kim,
And I'm Rachel.
and we are so excited to be with you today on the day after Thanksgiving.
hmm Hopefully, you guys are not all at the mall and you're listening to us.
Exactly. And if you're headed to the mall, we hope you're listening to us in between your little stop and shops,
Yeah, like on
right?
lunch break when you have to replenish your energy from all the sales.
Exactly. Or when you crash from all the sugar from yesterday. All
Mm.
right. So Rachel, did you do Black Friday when you were a kid?
Not when I was a kid, but my mom and I definitely did some 6 a.m. mall Black Fridays when I was in my 20s.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I think I'm probably the only person on the planet who's never, ever shopped on Black Friday. Not physically in a store shopped, ever.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. I don't like people that much. I love people. I just don't like hordes of people with elbows and bad attitudes. So I just like, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem
No,
like a
no, no.
way.
You are completely right. I mean, Black Friday sales have become so chaotic.
Mm,
And that's what we kind of want to talk about it a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but also, what are you going to do for your mental health and your energy when you are headed out to the mall at 6 a.m. to get to the store right when they open? Or are you going to skip it this year because it is too stressful? So, Kimmy, we are just going to chit chat about it in general.
we are. We are. And hopefully offer some solutions for those who are over it.
Well,
Right?
the cool thing is that before we hit record, you told me that you have a new tradition that you've implemented called Calm Friday, and I
Hmm.
want our listeners to hear all about that because that sounds glorious.
Yeah, it's just preparing for Thanksgiving is I love it. I love cooking. I love my family being around. I love everything about it, right? Well, no, I take that back. I don't love cleaning every part of my house, and I don't love polishing the silver just because I feel like I should use it, right? Um,
Hmm.
that being said, I feel like really Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are kind of busy days. And so for me to want to get up and beat the crowds on Friday is just a no-go. There's no way that I would ever even entertain it.
Hmm.
So, we used to just chill out, eat leftovers, do nothing. It was a nothing day, you know? But since the boys have moved on in their lives and usually it's just Jeff and I. A lot of times he'll watch football and I decorate the house.
Hmm.
We've started this new thing where we head out early in the morning, we go back to his hometown and we cut down a Christmas tree and we visit his parents' graves and we decorate and then we come home and it's just chill day. Calm, and I really love it. I think it's probably my favorite part of Thanksgiving weekend at this point in time.
Well, I just need you to know that I'm totally stealing that, except for the cutting down my Christmas tree part, because I don't put up a real Christmas tree. I don't actually let, and my bestie is always getting on my case about this, but I don't let live things like plants and trees in my home. Things crawl out of them that I'm not interested in. And I don't want to have to be responsible for keeping something alive for like a month. Are you high? No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So all my Christmas decorations are faux.
Gotcha. We're having that discussion now. We might just go get some garland for outside because we leave for Florida like 2 days after Christmas.
Yep.
And it's a lot of work to put it up and take it down and I don't want to leave with a mess, right? Or a fire hazard in my house. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. I don't know. We'll still make the trip. We'll still go visit June and Cease and, chat with them for a little bit. That's my in-laws.
Yep.
Um, yeah.
Well, in New York, the one time I did get a real tree, it was a cute little Charlie Brown tree and it sat right on my little tabletop. So maybe that's an option for you.
Hmm. I have a pre-lit tree I bought on
Oh, so it
like
is fake.
like triple clearance last year, so I have a false one.
Okay.
And then I also have the tinsel tree that my grandparents bought in the 40s
What
when
does that mean?
it's this It's it's a tinsel tree. It's they during several of the wars they didn't allow Christmas trees. I think they needed the resources for the war effort or I don't know something, I don't know. But my grandpa loved Christmas so much he bought a tinsel tree and it's like this long thick dowel and it's got little holes in it and you put in these wires that have been wrapped with silver tinsel.
Okay.
And when they created them way back when, there's this little motor with a light bulb and it's got this disc that rotates. And so the tree goes from green to yellow to red to blue and
Oh,
it
that's
just
so cool.
shimmers. It is.
Okay, I'm gonna need
It's
a
very
little
cool.
video of that when you put that up. That
Yeah.
sounds so cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
anyway,
I
yeah,
love
a
your
little Christmas distraction during our Black Friday conversation.
as I mean, this is us, right? We always get
Right.
distracted.
Right.
But anywho, heading back to Black Friday,
Yeah.
another interesting concept is because of the frenzy, because of all the excitement, are you buying on impulse or is your shopping experience intentional to get your family a gift or your kid a gift? Where is your mindset going into this Black Friday?
Mm. Mine's always very intentional. When I shop online, but when I shop in general, because like things have been on sale now. I mean, the merchants and online and in person, they've been on Black Friday sales like since 2 weeks ago.
Right.
But I have a list and it's not specific. Like I pay attention throughout the year on what my kids say, oh my gosh, look at that, or I'd love to have that, or yeah, it's wearing out. I'm gonna need another one of those. And so I keep that list going and then it's just always in my bag. And so when I see something great on sale, I confirm, yeah, that's the thing that's on the list, and I'll buy something that they don't know they're going to get from me. So
Yeah.
I am intentional. I know a lot of people though who head out on Black Friday with their Christmas list in hand, and they come home with a brand new TV. You know, I mean, like, so how about you? Do you go searching for the deal, or do you have in mind what you want to buy?
Well, it's so interesting you say that because when I was younger, my mom and I would go to the mall for Black Friday, it would be more impulse. It would be like, oh, that caught my attention and it's only $5 versus $50. That's a great deal. And
Hmm.
then it would sit in my closet.
Right,
So
right.
I definitely don't do that anymore. And plus, as a 50-year-old woman, your tastes kind of change, right? I would rather buy myself a brand new KitchenAid mixer for Black Friday because I love to bake now. I bake cakes and I'm ready to start baking bread. We talk
Mhm.
about that. So for me, that's my birthday slash Christmas gift from my honey and my mom. So I, and the idea of going to the mall at 6 a.m. is a hard no. And that's why, like I said, I love your concept of Calm Friday and gonna steal it this year. But Christmas is different for me and my family versus your family. We don't buy each other gifts, we buy each other experiences, or we go on a trip together as
Mhm.
opposed to having tons of Christmas presents under the tree, which as I've gotten older has been much more enjoyable. We get that experience and we create those memories. So for us, that's what works.
Yeah. We did that for a while during the boys' last or like their late teenage years, right? Their final years. That sounded so weird. Um, during their later years in high school,
Yeah.
rather than just buy a bunch of stuff, because when they're little, it's easy to buy 22 $5 things, right? And have them opening presents until the next day. But during their later years, we plan a trip and then they would get like I don't know, little things, or we'd count on Santa to bring like small things to entertain them on the trip, or a new book for the flight, or whatever the case may be. So I love that kind of shopping.
Yeah.
Um, Now that we're kind of spread out and everything, and there are grandbabies involved, I'm back to buying some fun things. But as I've grown older and wiser and realized that no child can play with 37 new toys, um, I have been trying to really follow the something you want, something you need, something to wear, and something to read. for my grandkids.
Okay.
And they're only 1 and 2, and they don't know anyway that it came from Nana. But someday they will because I write in the books, and so someday they'll read and they'll know that I thought of them and I bought that book for them. Um, but yeah, I go with the list. I just and my kids don't get anywhere near as much. Sometimes the presents have gotten more expensive. Or as I think I shared with you, I don't think I shared with our listeners. We live in the middle of Iowa, and so we have cows and pigs all around. And so our major gift for our kids is a freezer full of meat. We buy a whole cow and a whole pig, and we have it butchered out, and then we divide it up amongst our three families. And so with the cost of things and everything, it made more sense for Jeff and I to buy them a great freezer and to fill it once a year, you know?
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that.
Mm.
There is nothing wrong with a practical gift from mom and dad. Trust
Mhm.
me. When
Mhm.
my mom, was like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "A gift card to Trader Joe's to fill up my refrigerator. Thank you so much."
Mhm.
I love a practical, but I think that also comes with age, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's if somebody would have asked me that when I was 13, I would have looked at them crazy. I mean,
Right.
I need the greatest new makeup kit when I was 13.
Oh, sister, I grew up with boys who loved their video games. And so, I mean, like, there were a lot of times where, if the latest, greatest new PlayStation or whatever was coming out on Black Friday, it was this constant, like, needle push, 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 push. Are you going to get it? Are you going to go? Are you going to go? And when they got old enough to have their own cars, they would go get in line at 4 o'clock in the morning so that they could buy it. I mean, it just, no thanks.
Well,
No thanks.
that is such a perfect segue into how Black Friday sales look today.
Yes.
And we were also talking off camera that you and I grew up in an age where everything, grocery stores, banks, schools, stores, malls, it didn't matter what it was closed on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And yes, the stores open back up on Friday. So I guess Black Friday has been around for a long time, but that is not the case anymore. Like you
Mhm.
said, there's online, in store, have already started Black Friday sales. I mean, Amazon was touting that, today is the first day of or Black Friday sales for 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's just buy, spend, spend, spend. And it's interesting because you do get enticed, right? When your skincare, which is normally $60 for a thing, is on sale for $30, like, oh, but I already have one in my freezer, or my fridge, so I don't need it right now.
Right.
And it's interesting how they entice you to buy, but you may not necessarily need anything right now. And you
Mm.
know what I've done to myself?
Hmm.
When I do get that urge, is I was like, you know what? This is not the only time in the world that this is going to go on sale.
Mhm.
And honestly, if I don't need it right now, why do I need to spend the money?
Mhm. Mhm.
Even though in your brain you can tell yourself, well, I am going to use it. Well,
Mhm.
of course you are. But things like that go bad normally before you can get to them, or maybe you find something else you like. I mean, it tends to be a waste of money, in my opinion.
Yep.
But yeah, I've just, and again, maybe you get older, you get wiser, and I'd rather spend my money on things that I like to do now.
Right. Yeah. And that for me, um, I go through the same thing. If it's something that I always use, I'm tugged. I feel the tug to buy it, right? And stockpile it. Um, and also with the grandkids, like I was telling you, there's this really cool drum.
Mhm.
And I saw it, and of course, the advertising or the social media post was great because there's this little child sitting on the floor with this little drum in his lap, and the sound is so soothing, and they give you all the statistics about the right noise and the right whatever. waves, sound waves, and how it's good for brain development and whatever. And I'm like sucked in. And it's like I've had my finger hovering on, like the quantity button because I got to buy two,
Of
right?
course.
For like 4 or 5 times in the last couple of weeks.
Mm.
And then I catch myself and I'm like, Kim, take a breath. They're
Take
one
a beat.
and
Take a beat.
two. Well, they're one and two. And are they going to love this $250 drum that's good for their mental development more than they're going to like the $30 Tonka truck that's going to like get them
Mhm.
outside playing? I don't know. But so I haven't done it. And I really, now that I've said this to you, I feel like I'm like asking for accountability here. Help, help, help. I'm not going to buy it. So,
No. And
yeah.
it will go on sale eventually, and maybe when they get a little older, they will appreciate it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I hear you. I
Yeah.
don't have grandkids to deal with, thank God, because I mean, I'd be
Mhm.
living with my kids, I guess.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah. The other thing is I think like when you get into this impulse shopping and are either being intentional or being impulsive, I think so many people think Christmas is better if there's a lot under the tree.
Hmm.
And I used to, I mean, like I'm guilty, right? When my boys were little or with my grandkids, I want them to open presents.
Yeah.
But I've also witnessed in the last several years, like being in a place where people are opening and or kids are opening and because they haven't maybe necessarily learned all their social graces yet. It's
Mhm.
like open, look, set it aside. What's next? Open, look, set it aside. What's next?
Yeah.
So does more mean better,
Hmm.
right?
I
I mean,
love that. That's a very valuable question to ask yourself, especially if you do have more littles than you do adults. But that's also why I think some families that are larger have implemented the Secret Santa or the I you pick a family member out of the hat, which to me is brilliant
mm-hmm.
because then you don't feel that guilt or that obligation to buy every single person in your family a gift. You're responsible for one person.
Yeah.
And that way everyone is included. So if you have not done that in your big family, maybe this year is the year to start that
Mm-hmm.
and see if that works for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you have any tips for like as a organizer, as someone who specifically has made a career helping people cut the clutter, get rid of the trash, organize their lives.
Mhm.
Um, do you have any tips for people who have it big, extravagant Christmases or I guess I don't know what I'm asking, but I know that you have some wisdom for us because people get all this crap and then what do they do with it, right? And you
Mhm.
experience that almost every day you go to work. So enlighten us.
Well, that's kind of a loaded question, and I could, if we're going to keep it specific to Christmas shopping, I can do that, or Christmas gifts, I can do
Mhm,
that. I think we're at a place in our lives where we all accumulate stuff. Even moi, as a home organizer, I've got some stuff.
mhm,
And I think before Christmas is such a wonderful time to do a purge in your home, whether it be your closet, your kitchen, your living room, your holiday ornaments and your decorations. It's or right after Christmas before you put everything away and you have all these gifts to deal with. And there are so many, and I talk about this all the time. There are so many people in every state, in every country that are in need.
mhm,
And so if you can gather up a box or a bag of things that you are just not going to use into the next year
mhm.
and give those things, just give freely because it's such a lovely feeling to know that it could make someone else happy. You got to use it for 5, 10 years, and maybe it's time to let somebody else create a tradition with grandma's tinsel tree or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
singling you out, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
And also too, if you do have a large family, talk about it. instead of feeling like you have to buy gifts for 10 people, and then that means 10 people have to buy you gifts, and you're just surrounded by stuff. And
Right.
9 out of 10 times, is it something that you wanted? Not everybody is as intuitive as you are and listens all year long. Like, I've been wanting one of these mixers forever.
Mm,
And for me to see it on sale, I jumped at that.
mhm,
Do that for one person in your family. Buy them something that you know they've been wanting and they probably wouldn't
mm,
spend the money on themselves, or you know them very well. Let's get them something. I know Aunt Sally would love this pink pashmina because she loves pink. So let's be more thoughtful and
mhm.
not feel like we can't be honest. So that would be my tip. That was so long-winded. I apologize.
No, no, it's just, I mean, like I deal with my own crap, but you deal with like a lot of people's crap. And so I have to assume, um, when I started decorating just a little bit because I don't know, it puts me in the holiday mood, I mean, getting ready for Thanksgiving, I still want the pumpkins have to go away and I have to pull out the Christmas things just a little bit here and there. Um, but I've got so much stuff. And exactly what you were saying, like, do I need to reserve a ceiling or a floor to ceiling corner of my storage room for Christmas? I don't know if I do. And yeah, tubs of clothes, all kinds of things. So there's always that to deal with. So,
Right.
have you noticed though this year there seemed to be a lot more sales going on? It's like we went from a feeling of scarcity right after COVID, and everything was expensive, and there weren't the quantity of things wasn't as great. And now it just feels like the world's opened up again, and everywhere you turn, there's stuff, and it's all cheap. Or I mean, the things to live aren't cheap right now, but I feel like they're really pushing Christmas hard. Have you
Mhm.
noticed that too?
Totally. I was just saw a commercial. Forgive me if I forget if it's Toyota or Ford, but for a sale.
Hmm.
And I mean, my honey and I bought our car like in 22, like at the height of the shortage and all the issues. So I
Hmm.
haven't seen a sale on cars since then. So to see that again, I'm like, oh, okay, things are a changing.
Hmm.
And I remember in the past couple of years, things were, like you've mentioned, sales were not, they were few and far between. And now everything is on sale.
Hmm.
Everything is on sale.
Hmm.
And part of that is we're recovering a little bit, but part of it is we collectively just want stuff. And I'm throwing
Hmm.
myself into that mix either. I'm not, blaming.
Yep.
Stuff is makes life interesting. But also too, there isn't a morning where I don't wake up and come out into my living room and the way I decorate it. I love it. I did a great job and I enjoy it.
Hmm.
So there is that too. And that is because of the stuff that I have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you start putting stuff in bins, and I helped this woman organize yesterday, and she has very deep closets, a very dark closet. So when we were pulling things out, she's like, "Oh, I haven't seen this in 10 years. Oh, I forgot I had," like, that's where we need to hire me, and we need to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. My mom's reached this point in her life where she does those closet purges and then that's what she gives us for Christmas. I don't mean it like that, but I mean it might be like my grandmother had like this beautiful fur stole, I mean, and like my mom's never going to do it or use it. I'm never going to use it either. But here, you should have this. It's something from your grandma. So yeah, maybe search your closets for your Christmas presents instead of going shopping.
That is a great idea. If you haven't opened that hall closet in 10 years, honey, you don't know what you'll find in there.
Exactly. And yeah, if you walk by and worry the door's gonna burst open, you really should dig in there and find some presents, right?
I love that. Have you
Oh,
ever seen a movie, Bad Moms?
yes.
Okay, so they have a sequel, Bad Moms Christmas.
Uh-uh.
Oh my God. Listeners, please watch those two movies back to back. But one of the moms, the character, is talking about her son and what she gives him for Christmas every year. And she's like, I've wrapped up this same baseball glove for like 4 years in a row, and he doesn't know. And I think that is so funny because seriously, you could probably do that in your kids' rooms, right? Things they haven't played with or even like paid attention to. Like,
Mhm.
oh, let me rewrap that.
Hmm. You know, I did that. My sons are 7 years apart. And so like my very like the things that my oldest son loved when he was little, we kept that, but he reached the point where he wasn't playing with it anymore. So I just like I'm thinking big like Little Tykes mountains and train sets and stuff that took up a lot of room. I just packaged it all up and then, it came out again and was regifted to the younger one 7 years later.
Oh my God. See, you're ahead of the game, babe. You're
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
And now you can probably do the same thing with the grandbabies.
Oh, if I wish a million times that I would have saved some of those things because not because I don't want to buy them presents, but they were such cool toys. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
well, so what do you have on your agenda for the rest of the day since,
Technically, it is
it's
Black
it's
Friday.
well, yeah. I mean, like once you hit 8 o'clock on Black Friday, there are no more sales, right? Isn't that what they tell you?
Well,
Like you
no,
get
but
you
then,
get the bonus sale at 5
yeah,
a.m. and then like
yeah.
just the bonus at 6, and then by 8 o'clock it's just Black Friday sales. It's not like super.
Well, yes, but then you have the sales that will run all the weekend and then Cyber Monday starts. So, I mean, you're literally going to be bombarded with sale emails and sale commercials and sale ads from
Hmm.
now until New Year's.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the
So,
stuff you should buy like when you return your Christmas presents.
well,
Another
yeah.
show, right?
Yeah. And then they say, the after Christmas sales.
Hmm. Hmm.
Holy Lord. And that's when the mall opens up again at like 3:30 in the morning.
I know.
So
Now,
you can
can you
get those.
imagine being somebody who works in customer service on the day after Christmas? Can you imagine?
I don't think I would put that trauma into my brain.
Oh,
You got to
no
be a
way.
special kind of person. But you also have to be a nice shopper. Don't be a dick.
Right.
Be
Oh,
nice to those people who are up at 5 in the morning so you can buy your Christmas pajamas. You think they want to be there? No. Buy them a Starbucks and be like, thank you for being here. Thank you for your service.
I love that. I love that. Okay, friend. Well, I hope you have a very calm Friday. I hope you enjoy every minute of it. Um, I know I am. I'm just gonna snuggle up, maybe pop on the fire and watch some movies while football's going on in a different room. And yeah, just chill out.
Yeah. Well, you have to watch Bad Moms Christmas, so get on that.
I'll get on it for sure, for sure. And when we come back next week, you know what we're talking about? Do you remember what we're talking about?
Yeah, we're about to hit in December, baby, and that is
Our
not
month.
only okay, calm down. It's not only our birthdays, but it is the awakening of Sagittarius, which is the best sign.
Yeah, and Rachel's gonna teach me because I've been a Sagittarius for 57 years and all I know is when I was born. That's it. I don't know anything about it.
Now, I need to educate
Um,
you on
yeah,
all of our
yeah,
traits.
yeah.
But thank you so much for listening. Please like and share our show so we can grow our audience so they can also experience our joy.
And goodness and fun girl talk.
Oh, yeah.
See you next week.